religious persecution is a lot of the time seen as Christians being thrown into the lion's den, or being burned on the stake, or even starved out in prison camps. But the truth is that religious persecution goes much further than just a physical persecution. Recently, we've seen it a lot in the realm of political persecution. And in this article, I'm going to go over Todd Starnes, where he says, Houston mayor drops the bid to subpoena pastor's sermons, in Fox News, published on the 29th of October 2014. And in this article, he goes through a series of events where a Houston statute was set in place which infringed upon the beliefs of certain pastors and Christian organizations. And when they infringed upon them, they took a stand against this. And because of this stand, the mayor, she put subpoenas on the pastors and called for them and threatened them even more. And because of this, the Christian church stood behind them and stood behind the pastors to make a stand against this, and the subpoenas were dropped. Now, this is still an ongoing battle that's not been solved yet. This is a case which is still being dilemmaed right now. And so what I want to challenge Christians to do is to stand up whenever your faith is being infringed and your beliefs are being challenged. In Todd Starnes' article, when he goes over the Houston City Ordinance, which is in section 1751b, it says that it shall be unlawful for any place of public accommodation or any employee or agent thereof to deny any person entry into a restroom, shower room, or similar facility if that facility is consistent with and appropriate to that person's expression of gender identity. What this means is that a man who feels like he can identify better with a woman can go into a girl's bathroom and vice versa. Now, pastors refused this because they felt like it was against their beliefs, and they did not want to have to admit and allow somebody to say they felt like they were a girl and so they wanted to go into the girl's bathroom. So they took a stand and said that they would not allow this into their churches. Because of this, Mayor Anise Parker subpoenaed the pastors. And what she did is she told them that every one of their sermons which contain anything about gender identity, sexuality, or anything about the mayor herself had to be sent in to her for review. Now, these subpoenas were much more than much more than just a threat to these pastors and trying to find out information, but it was a point to be made to all pastors and to all religious people about their stand. And Stanley, one of the pastors, said that these subpoenas are more than just one front in a rapidly developing conflict. And the philosophy underlying this conflict is that sexual liberty trumps everything, including religious liberty. And we're seeing this where she's trying to force upon her own beliefs as a lesbian onto these other people, into the religious people, and is infringing now on their rights. Because of these subpoenas, pastors now stood up even more, and churches from all around the nation stood behind these pastors and stood their own stand and put lots of petitions together to stand against this statute and the mayor herself. Brittany Hughes from CNS News says that this year, more than 1,800 pastors across the United States have participated in Pulpit Freedom Sunday, an annual event hosted by Alliance Defending Freedom that advocates for pastors' rights to speak on politics and from the pulpit without fear of losing the church's tax-exempt rights. We can see that we had the largest number of pastors stand up and to join this alliance because of this one issue which has arisen where they were feeling like their own beliefs were being infringed upon. Now, because of the large-scale people jumping up and defending their beliefs, the mayor backed down her subpoena. According to Eugene Volokh, we can see that right now, temporarily, she has backed down her subpoenas and they do not have to turn in their sermons anymore. Now, like I said before, this is still an ongoing case and this is not over yet. And so what I want to challenge us Christians to do is we need to stand up for our beliefs. When we see that we're being challenged and that people are trying to take advantage of us because we've been quiet for so long, it's time for us to stand up. It's time for us to believe in what we believe in and to be able to speak for ourselves whenever we have certain rights that we want to defend. 2 Samuel 10:12 says, "Be strong and let us fight bravely for our people and the cities of our God, because the Lord will do what is good in His sight." So I challenge you as Christians to stand up.